Okay, I think we're live. Let's just make sure that it's all working the way it's meant to be working. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, happy Sunday night for those of you who are in Ireland and America. Wherever you might be, let me know who's here. Drop me a, yeah, I'm here, and where are you coming in from so I can see you. So darn cool. I'm a bit excited. Can you tell? I'm standing up. All right, let's see if I can find you in the feed so I can see what's going on. Pardon me while I find, oh, here we go. All right. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Karen. Morning from the Gold Coast. We made it. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let's just turn the volume down so I can see it. Good morning, Fiona from Perth. Hello, beautiful Karen from Byron Bay. Hey, John, nice to see you. Batemans Bay, beautiful part of the world. Awesome, awesome. Just make sure I've got all the things going down. Yep, let me know where you're here from. Hi, Catherine from Geelong in Victoria. It was beautiful to see you last week and to catch up with you live. Well, live on the Zoom thing, right? So that's super cool. Yes. How's everyone feeling today? Excited? Don't we just love a little bit of Facebook ad training? Good morning, Jenna from the sunny Gold Coast. Jenna and I have been on the phone to each other since about 6 a.m. this morning. So I'm like, I feel like half the day is already done, right? So darn cool. Good morning, Wendy. I know you're here. So beautiful. Good morning, Nicole. Lovely to see you this morning in Sydney. Perfect. How's Sydney looking this morning? Zara, welcome, welcome from the beautiful Currumbin Valley, one of my favorite places. Actually, I say that about every place. It's very hard to not have a favorite place. And when I was a tour guide, crazy story, I would take people to these places and I'd get there and be like, oh my God, this is my favorite place. And we'd go to like 9 or 15 countries. And then by the end of the tour, everyone would be like, Martine, everything is your favorite place. And I'd be like, yep, I know. I'm just an excited person. Hey, Beck, how are you? How's the beautiful Airlie Beach looking? Okay. All right, all right, all right. So excited but nervous. Yep, Kat, I'm with you. Up since 4:30. I saw your beautiful strawberries. That's so darn cool. First meeting already done. Nailed it. Nailed it. The challenge will be, can you finish by 3 o'clock and then just enjoy the strawberries with or something? Good morning, Melissa. I've missed you, lady. How are you? Nice to see you. Good morning, Mary Ann from Adelaide. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So let's get this party started so that I can be of super high value to you and also make really great use of our time. Just a big fat warm welcome. If you haven't already registered via the link and received our email about how the structure is for this event, go ahead and register. It'll be somewhere here. And that way you'll get like all the emails at 6 a.m. with the worksheets and bits and pieces. So go ahead and do that. Just a bit of framework for today. You guys might have already figured out that I work for Pats on the Back. Hey, Ali, good evening in beautiful Ireland. Missed everyone, love to all. That's totally cheesy and totally true. It's totally fine. Framework. I lose my place. Because I love the interaction, right? If I was just sitting here talking to a camera, I'd go nuts, but I love that you're here. So because there's a few people on the call and there's going to be a few others, let's just create a bit of a framework for this, okay? So what I'd love is when you're commenting, if you have an aha or like, oh my God, yep, this is a lesson, something I've learned, I want you to start your comment with an L and then the lesson. If you have a question for me, start your comment with a Q for question. And if you're celebrating something, start your comment with a W for win. So lesson, questions, and wins. Got it? If you've got it, give me a thumbs up or a heart and let me know that this makes sense to you, right? What I love and what I would love to have from you guys is just a lot of interaction, and so that I'm not drowning in comments, because that's a thing, I can actually make sure that I'm answering questions along the way. So let me know if that feels good for you and we'll just get started. All right. So today I want to go through the Facebook ecosystem. It sounds boring, but you're going to be fine. right? Facebook ecosystem, we're going to go through ad policy, and we're going to go through campaign lingo. Thanks, Fiona. And this is super important, because what happens is everyone's like, hey, I did this thing on Facebook and it didn't work, or I did this thing on Facebook and I got banned. And so what you need to know is, before you start doing this thing on Facebook, you need to understand who this person or what this algorithm is, right? It's a win, Jen. So what I would love, what I would love to be able to help you with, is to start to think about Facebook as your client. It's not your tool. It's not your profile. It's not your business. You have two clients from now on. You've got your clients and the people that you're serving, and you've got Facebook. Facebook is a client. You are there on the platform to be able to promote your business. It's like having a marketer. If you're working with me, I might be your client, or you might be my client. The same is true with Facebook. It's a pay to play. They're a client, you're a client. Think of this as a client relationship, as opposed to, this is my space and I'm going to own it, right? And so if you think about Facebook as being your client, then you'll start to find ways to help your client to win, right? If you're paying your client, or if client's paying you, you want to find ways for your client to win. And the same is true here in Facebook, right? So I have a lot of people coming to me, they're like, my ad account's been closed, I've been disabled, I've been barred, I've been blacklisted. Seriously, so many of my clients, they're like, my ad account has been closed, I've been hacked, I've been nothing wrong, give me the story. I've heard them all before. And I'm here to tell you, if you are advertising on Facebook and you don't understand how it works, they're going to shut you down. And that's not that fun, right? So with a lot of my clients, what we try and do is we try and, one, understand that there's a difference between what you post, right? So what are you posting, which is organic content, versus what are you putting money behind, which is paid content. And what you can do between the two is quite different, right? Because Facebook is protecting its customers and it's protecting its community. So today we're going to talk about that. There's a difference between posting. So I'll have people say, hey, I'm running a Facebook ad. And I'm like, what did you do with your ad? And why did it get closed? And they're like, oh, well, actually, I've been posting all of this and it's not been a problem. But then, you know, all of a sudden it's closed down. Let's get very clear. When you're posting organically, that's one thing. As soon as you start to promote something with sponsored or paid campaigns, as soon as you start to advertise, it's a very different thing. You with me? If you're with me, give me a thumbs up, a high five or something. Let me know that this makes sense to you, right? That I'm not just like going off on a Martine tangent, because that's a thing. We totally do that, right? So, yeah, okay, just checking. So I have a number of clients. You guys are going to know, right? You're going to know these clients. You're going to know some of these people. Hey, Lisa, so beautiful to see you, right? Things like life by design. Facebook doesn't like it. Things like six-figure businesses, six-figure coaches. Facebook doesn't like it. Things about transformation. Facebook doesn't like it. Things about calling out someone's health. Facebook doesn't like it. Things about calling out someone. Hey, all coaches, consultants, course creators. Facebook doesn't like it, right? So things about calling out particular groups. So I have a client who's in this group and she was doing a lot of marketing to expats. Facebook doesn't like it, right? And so it's not about, oh, Facebook doesn't like all these things. It's like, don't waste your money by putting time and energy and money behind something unless you understand how to play, right? So this is the thing. I've got another friend in this group. We used to live together, right? Back in the olden days. And I remember Linda, if you're here, I know you'll catch up eventually. I remember Linda saying, and so let me go back. I went too far down the rabbit hole without explaining what was going on. So Linda has a huge following, right? She is doing super well in the social media space, right? She uses the platforms really, really well. She shares a lot of content, a lot of her own journey, a whole lot of her personal story through her, aloha, Miss Dare, through her use of these platforms, she's built a huge following, right? Now, is the platform her? No, but she understands how to use the platform. And this is a case where the student surpasses the teacher. So Linda, I remember Linda and I worked together at Fitness First. We were living together and I was like, hey, babe, you need to be on Instagrams, right? Instagrams is the thing for you. It's about how you're going to be able to get your programs, all the things that you're doing out into the world. Now Linda has I don't even know, maybe 15,000 Instagram followers, right? Because she's really mastered the space about telling her story on Instagram. Now, would she have been able to have the same volume of business without promoting herself on social media? Maybe, right? But because she's using the platforms well and because she understands how the algorithm works and how the platforms work, she's been able to grow her business and grow her following and create a much different lifestyle for herself because she's been able to navigate and master this thing. She understands what she can do versus what she cannot do. Linda, this is for you. Congratulations for doing so darn well. So the key is to understand how to use the platform in such a way that you can elevate your business, but also in such a way that you can, the platform and the client will work for you, right? Good morning, Deborah. Nice to see you this morning. All right, so let's get into it. There's 3 things I want to share with you today. The first one is the Facebook ecosystem. The second one is about compliant ads. And the first one is about Facebook language, right? What do you need to know? So the ecosystem, the ads ecosystem really boils down to four key things. Ready? The first one is your funnel. For those of you who know me, who've listened to me before, I'm not a big fan of the word funnel, but I'm staying with it, right? Because everyone else is using the word. I'd prefer not to use the word. I've done plenty of trainings on funnels before, so this is not the space, but the Facebook funnel is your sequence. It's a user experience. It's the stuff that, it's a place that takes you from a customer from where they are now and the sequence and the steps to help them work with you. That is the funnel. It's a process. Putting one ad out is not a funnel. It's an ad. The funnel is the sequence that will allow people to enter your business, right? It's the sequence that takes someone from prospect to paid client. It's the customer journey. I always, Karen, yes, I'm looking at you. I always ask you, what is the experience and what is the customer journey that you want to take people on? Because then you need to map that out in the digital framework, right? So the first thing about your Facebook ecosystem is the funnel. Super important. If your funnel is broken, the system won't work. So if you have a landing page with broken links, my team, that happens sometimes, the funnel won't work, the system won't work. If you have and I did this last year, right? I had someone helping me with my Facebook marketing. I've always had a team because I always think that I only have one piece of the puzzle and I hire people who have the other pieces of the puzzle to help me, right? I don't think I can do this on my own. I have much smarter people working with me to help me, right? So I had last year guy, I was like, right, I've got this huge database and this following. I need to leverage it. We ran a campaign. It had 250,000 impressions in less than 2 weeks, right? The strongest campaign I ever ran was my own. What was wrong with it? It wasn't taking anyone anywhere. So I was driving this traffic and I was doing this thing, but there was no next step in the funnel, right? Massive mistake. Learn from my mistakes. Do not do the same thing. What's the point of having 250,000 engagements, right? If they're going nowhere, you are just wasting your time and your money. Learn from me, right? First part in the ecosystem. The second part of the ecosystem is your creative and your messaging. This is so important. So your copy, your creative, it needs to be appealing. It needs to resonate. It needs to not be clickbaity, right? It needs to actually work and it needs to really be a true, authentic representation of the work that you do, right? I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Copy that connects, right? But without the right creative and the right messaging, your funnel won't work. So that's the second part in the Facebook ads ecosystem. If you're with me, give me some love, drop me a high five, a heart, all the things. Let me know that you're still here, right? Okay, cool. The third part in the ecosystem is traffic quality. Traffic quality is about how have you set up your campaigns, right? How have you optimized your campaigns? What is the quality of the clicks what's the quality of the clicks, right, that you're sending to your funnel? If you have a low quality click, your funnel's not going anywhere. So this is a massive part of it. Why have I got a cupcake, Ali? I do love a cupcake though. So damn cool. Yeah, but the traffic quality is super important. Unless you've got the right traffic going to the right place, this is never going to work, right? So we're going to talk about traffic on day 3. See what we're doing with this? So damn cool. The 4th part is the offer, right? The offer is really as important as everything else. If you've got the wrong offer, you can send all the traffic you like there. Yeah, you guys all got it. You can send all the traffic you like. You can do all the right things. But if you have I still will take the cupcake. But then anyway, I digress. If you don't have the right offer, your ads will fall on deaf ears. And again, it's just not a great investment, right? So 4 steps to this is your funnel, your creative and messaging, thanks Cecile, your traffic quality, and your offer. They're all part of the Facebook ad ecosystem. For your ads to work, all 4 steps need to come into play, right? So your landing pages, your customer experience, the pathway that you're taking someone on, the copy, the creative, the messaging, the offer, and then the quality of your traffic. All right. So let me know in the group if you have a question on any of this or if I can move forward. I'm just going to go ahead and open my sheet, right? I'm going to talk about Facebook ads, compliant ads, right? Yeah, here we go. Facebook compliant ads. I'm going to share my screen with you. Yeah, let's build Facebook compliant ads. Okay. I'll just make sure this is all working. Oh. And that you can see my screen and that it all makes sense. It's so, so, so important. And I even have team that don't always get this right? So if you can, yeah, it's working. If you can understand about how to build a compliant ad, it's going to save you a lot of time and money, all right? So what you cannot do is use any implied profanity, not even the crazy hashtag, blah, blah, blah. They don't like anything that's any implied profanity, not just the swear words. You should not really ask a direct question or make an assumption about someone's personal attributes. For example, I was talking about calling out, yeah, totally, Melissa, about calling out, say, expats, right? Or saying, hey, I've got a client who is a hormonal specialist, right? She's a hormone specialist. She helps people with menopause. So she doesn't turn around and say, hey, you know, are you going through menopause? Won't like it, right? You cannot manipulate or use Facebook or Instagram brand names or logos. So if I'm doing an ad about how to understand Facebook ads, I can't say learn how to use Facebook ads because Facebook will say no, right? So that's important to understand. You cannot use images that have a perceived added functionality. Again, we've learned this the hard way. I've had clients who have like a podcast and they have the little play, like the video play button on their screens, and ads are denied, right? Because it's implying a functionality that doesn't exist. You cannot use any terminology that would be considered to be a work from home, a lifestyle business, an MLM, a get rich, or any deceptive employment opportunities. Facebook no like, right? You cannot make any time frame claims like how I made $30,000 in 90 days or how I lost 10 pounds in 10 days or how I, you know, a 10-day challenge. You cannot use anything like that. You can't use transformational photos, befores and afters. It doesn't like it, right? No images suggesting excessive amounts of skin, right? So no need to explain that one. Suggestive content. No images with a close-up area of a body, including teeth. So no like a smile with the perfect teeth, right? Doesn't work. and not really using any of the words you, your, and yours. So when you say, are you looking to change your life, then you should be doing this. Ain't gonna work. Words that use negative feelings. So if someone's got anxiety, if you're talking about fat loss or diets or losing weight or overwhelm or anxiety or stress, any of those things, it helps the reader to feel bad about themselves. Facebook doesn't like it. So all of those markers that talk about go to the pain point, this is where they're going to get screwed, right? And the other thing is any direct or indirect implications about a person's race, ethnic origin, religion, beliefs, age, sexual orientation, practices, gender identity, disability, medical condition, or name. You think it's crazy, Karen? I would say if you were having, how much of this would you use? Yeah, that's probably why your dental hygiene and teeth whitening ads get rejected. But you can talk about having the perfect smile, right? Just don't do the close-up. You do the whole face. Yeah. And you can say, rather than saying, do you have the perfect smile? It's like, what makes a perfect smile, right? It's just language. It's not crazy, Karen. These are the rules. We want to play like you do anything, right? So if you want to go ahead and you want to join the surf club at Byron, they'll have like a list of rules, right? And so when we understand the rules, then it's easier. So all of these things are really easy to fix. So that's the do nots. Why don't we talk about what we can do? We can just don't use any profanity. It's not cool anyway. It's not going to serve you. Avoid calling people out or making an assumption about who they are. Hey, oh, big bellied women, not going to be all right. Don't use Facebook or Instagram in your ads unless you're compliant with their branding guidelines. They're a business just like you. You wouldn't like someone to use your brand without your permission or doing it wrongly. Make sure your copy is clear and describes your offers. It's not just, hey, find out how I did this thing. Remove any video control images from your images. Be careful about talking about lifestyle opportunities and avoid using language that might illustrate like a get rich quick or like an easy income opportunity, or how, and this is another client of mine, it's like how I made like blah amount of money in blah amount of time. Where you have testimonials and case studies that have a time frame, don't put them at the top of your funnel, put them on the thank you page, right? So you can still have befores and afters, but don't put them in the top of the funnel if you're running paid ads to it. Again, organic, no problem, right? Paid ads, different. So you can do those things, just not when you're putting money behind it. Avoid images that show a lot of skin. Do not zoom in to a particular body area. Tweak your ad copy so they're not using and create copy that has a more spin on a situation. So rather than saying, hey, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? The spin might be, how would you love to have more energy, right? And then describe your products and services rather than calling out someone's attributes. Stress, anxiety, and overwhelm is a target market. Yes, but it's again how you speak to them, right? So, all right. Video controlled images, if you have the image and it has the little video triangle on it, but you can't press the triangle. Another very popular one that you're seeing at the moment on social feeds is you have like the search bar, like a Google search bar, and it's got the magnifying glass, but you can't actually type into it. That's what this is all about, right? So that's right. Facebook is a publishing vehicle and we need to be ethical, right? Avoid misleading and deceptive content. If you were going to advertise in a magazine, right, and pay money to advertise in a magazine, the magazine is going to give you a set of guidelines that are acceptable versus not acceptable. Why do we think, because we have a profile on this platform, that we do not have to conform to advertising guidelines? We think we can do whatever we like. I'm not suggesting that it's always right? But this is not our platform. We don't own it. So it has guidelines. And if you want to play, just follow the guidelines. If you don't want to play, that's super cool, right? You don't have to. You can find somewhere else. Now, and this is not just Facebook for all of my people. Instagram, same rules. WhatsApp, same rules. Messenger, same rules. They're owned by the same organization. So the rules that apply for Facebook apply for Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, right? And Snapchat. So if you want to pay to play, learn the rules so that you get seen. The biggest mistake that people make is they do all this stuff and then they're like, oh, my ads don't work. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. You don't know how to navigate this in such a way to win. That's what I want you to do, right? Navigate it to win. All right. Is there any way we can put our ads and check if they'll be approved before posting them? No. No. You'll find out fairly quickly if Facebook will just go and reject your ads, right? It'll say, hey, this ad was rejected, and it'll tell you why. It used to just say this ad was rejected, and it wouldn't tell you why. So they've changed. All right. Let's have a quick look at the Facebook ad language for a moment. Where is it? Just so that you understand. Are you feeling all right by this? If you're okay, just give me a heart, give me something. Paulette, hopefully I won't be back. I won't be here in 15 minutes. I'm trying to be super fast. And just to make really good use of your time, but you can always listen to the recording because it's being streamed live. Nice to have you here. Cool. So when you understand all the things that we talked about that don't work, there's a way that you can solve the problem. Don't be stuck in the, oh shit, this doesn't work. Be dedicated to framing it so that it does. All right. And so I was saying this to someone yesterday, like we all have wobbly days, right? This is the human experience. No, Deb, the video control piece is just the image that implies that the functionality of it, right? Yeah. So it's not about telling you that you can't do all these things. It's about setting you up to win, right? And so if you can reframe that space, then you're in a really strong position, right? Just make sure when you're asking me questions that you put the Q for question, L for lesson, W for wins, so that I can see the right information as they come up on the feeds, right? Cool. Let's talk about language. Language. It's all part of it. So I'm going to share my screen again. Facebook ads language. Facebook loves an acronym. You noticed, right? But it can be hard to understand what this all means. And so these are the things that you need to know about the lingo. CPC is cost per click. It's basically how much you're paying for someone to click on your campaign. A lot of people think that cost per click is the be all and end all. I think it's way down the priority list of things that are important to take care of. Hi, Carrie. Nice to see you. Click-through rate. Click-through rate is literally the volume of people who have clicked on your ad and taken the action that you've asked them to do, right? If it's a link click, if you're taking them to a traffic or if you're taking them through to a different location, so if it's going to a landing page or an opt-in, then your link clicks is how many people are coming off the platform. CPM is my favorite and the most underestimated measure of success. It's cost per 1,000 impressions. The higher your cost per 1,000 impressions, the lower your ads are going to be seen. That hurts my brain a little bit, right? Let's say your cost per 1,000 impressions is $100. And let's say my cost per 1,000 impressions is $10, right? And you've got a budget of $100 a day. In one day, your ads might be shown to 1,000 people because the cost to show 1,000 people is $100. Whereas my CPM, cost per 1,000, is $10. So in one day, I'm going to get 10,000 impressions. Does that make sense? Your cost per 1,000 impressions determines the feedability, the likability, and the showability of your ads. Cost per lead is pretty explanatory. This is usually a convention. So if you're doing a lead campaign and you're asking someone to submit a form, or you're taking them through to your landing page that has like a thank you page, then you can do a cost per lead registration. Cost per registration is obviously if someone's clicking through to say a webinar and you've got a conversion campaign in that space. Cost per acquisition is the cost to get a new customer, right? Conversion rate is the cost to convert someone. So let's say I'm running a conversion campaign and I want to have whatever the conversion is, whether it's optimized for a lead magnet, that's the cost of conversion. The campaign budget optimization is if we want Facebook to spread the budget out for us so we don't have to think, right? So CBO is where we say we might have $10, right, for an ad, and we might have 3 ad sets with 6 ads. And we'll say to Facebook, you decide where the ads should be seen. Now, up until last year, we as Facebook marketers would go ahead and we'd split test everything. We'd split test mobile versus desktop, we'd split test age ranges, we'd split test interest base, we'd have all these different ad sets and we'd put money behind each one. Now we're saying to Facebook, here's my ad sets, but you feed them out the way that you think it should go. So Facebook does the thinking for us, right? Custom audiences are audiences that you own, people who are customers or in your database that you upload. And then lookalike audiences are audiences that you create from a custom audience. So these are people who look like your audience. So for example, let's say I upload my database to Facebook and I might have 10,000 people in my database. Then I can create a lookalike audience, an audience that looks like my database based on their behaviors. Facebook has an algorithm. It's called BEAR. It's bid versus expected action versus relevance, right? Facebook knows it, and that's why it shows you things that it wants to show you, right? It shows you things that it thinks you're going to like. Facebook's whole intention is to keep you on the platform. Yep. So it's going to show you things that it thinks you like. And that's based on the things that you click on, like, and engage. When you say, hey, you know, I never see my Auntie Molly's post show up on my feed. That's because maybe you haven't commented or liked on her post for a long time, and therefore it doesn't show up because Facebook are like, I showed you her stuff, but you never click on it. That's all that is. Catherine, I have sent, these are not slides. This is just a page, and I sent through the page via the email registration if you haven't emailed already. And this one, the language, I'll upload into the unit section for you. Cold traffic. Cold traffic is people who have no previous connection with you. So they're a cold audience, right? Warm traffic are people who have engaged with you before. So I would call cold traffic being the top of the funnel, warm traffic being the middle of the funnel, and then hot traffic, people who have engaged with you, who have, say, opted in or watched something or downloaded a lead magnet, who we would call more prospects. That was fine, Catherine. Don't even be sorry. We're totally fine. If you haven't got the email, let us know, right? So yes, these are some things that are super simple to know. The things I would always keep my eye on, obviously your click-through rate, your cost per click. I would always keep my eye on the CPM. Those are the 3 sort of, you know, results-based things. Cost per registration, cost per lead are super important as well. Cost of conversion would be super important. So these are all elements that we need to understand in order to start to create some Facebook campaigns. Right. So what I would love to know in everything that I've just shared with you this morning, and it's been a bit, right? We've done a lot in 30 minutes. Let me know the biggest lessons, so L for lesson, biggest aha. Let me know in the comments and any questions that you might have about these things. And then I'm going to give you your tasks for today. Right. So if you have not received the email, make sure that you pop a Q for question and then say, please send email so we can follow up with that for you guys. And that should have all the links for everything, right? Perfect. Also in the unit section, we have the Facebook ads crash course in the units. And the video will be here as well as the email I sent. So you should be able to see all of that. And then the links should be all there for you as well. Perfect. All right. So here is your activity for today. Are you ready? If you don't already have it set up, you need to set up Facebook Business Manager. Don't feel the overwhelm. Yeah, good job. You don't need to feel overwhelmed. Just step by step, right? There's a lot going on. But the idea is to feel... No, baby, no, Nicole. Sorry, everyone's baby to me. No, Nicole, go ahead and register. The link is somewhere on the page. If not, we'll make sure that we send you the link to register, no problem. Facebook ads, if you know what you're doing, 100%, like anything. Isn't that so true? It's like, oh, I don't know how to do this. And then you do it and you're like, okay, I still don't know how to do this because you haven't learned, right? It's like playing tennis. You get on my nephews, you get on a tennis court and you've never played tennis before, and you get out there and you're like, oh my God, I suck. I'm like, well, dude, you've only played tennis for like 5 minutes. You're not going to be good in the first 5 minutes. You need lessons. And so then I give my nephews lessons and all of a sudden they're starting to play, right? It's the same with anything. Just got to learn how to do it. Perfect. So your actions for today. Number 1, make sure that you have Facebook Business Manager set up. You cannot create an appropriate funnel if you do not have Business Manager. You cannot create funnels from your page, right? Even though you have an ad center on your page, the link is in the email. You need to go to business.facebook.com, register Facebook Business Manager. From there, you need to make sure that your pages and an ad account is set up, right? That's the most important thing that you need to do for today. Let me know if you have any questions before we sign off, and your other activity for today. So once you have set up Facebook Business Manager, we will set up another thread in the unit section. And this is where you can pop your comments, any of your notes, your questions, any of your feed. And when you have done this, I want you to pop your GIF that most reflects how you're feeling about Facebook ads, right? So let me know how you're feeling. Are you feeling better about it, overwhelmed about it? What is the thing, right? So actions for today: set up Facebook Business Manager. Make sure that your pages, your Instagram account and the ad account is linked to it. Nicole, no, you don't need to link the groups. Just link your business page, your Instagram account, and set up an ad account within there if you haven't done that already. Perfect. You do need to make sure your groups are linked to your page, which I'm sure you already have done. We will activate the thread in the unit section here for you. So make sure that any of your notes, notifications, any comments, thoughts, feedback sit in there with the prefix L for lesson, W for win, Q for questions, so that we can look after you super well. And then post your Giphy on how you're feeling about today's activity in the thread. Cool beans, right? You got this. You totally got this. It's okay to start at the beginning, right? It's okay if this is your first tennis lesson. It's okay if you've been out on the tennis court before and you realize you can't hit the ball. That's fine, right? This is about starting wherever you're at. Maybe you've been playing tennis a little bit, right? But no one's ever taught you and you've got the wrong grip for a topspin backhand. This is what this is about, right? So I don't know where the tennis analogy came from. You get the idea, right? Wherever you're at. If you've been running ads and you're already in Business Manager, but you were wondering what to look at, then have a look at all the different kinds of conversions and the different kinds of languages and the different kinds of measures to understand how that looks. Have a look at the compliance piece. I can 100% guarantee there'll be something new to learn in there, right? Okay. You got this. Step by step, right? Today is just understanding that you got to learn how to do this advertising thing, right? Just like playing tennis, this is the first lesson. Wherever you're at, whether it's you're tweaking your skills of where you are, or whether it's starting from the beginning for the first time you've hit a ball, you got this. We're here to be of service to you. Watch out, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning is when I will send the next email with tomorrow's lesson. And with the downloadables, tomorrow we're talking about Copy That Connects, right? Important part of the Facebook ads ecosystem. You are so welcome. Go be amazing. You totally have this. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Have an epic day.